Hey guys, it is April 28th and the Granblue Versus version 1.31 patch has finally dropped. So in this video, I'd like to go through a visual guide of all of the major changes that happened. I will be skipping most of the universal changes, bug fixes, and any of that kind of thing. Alright, so let's go. One important change though is that when a character throws a projectile but gets hit during the startup frames, the actual projectile doesn't come out. So this is to avoid any trade situations or any situations where the character can recover fast enough and get a combo even though they got hit from the projectile, stuff like that. For Gran, they reduced the recovery for close standing light. It's still plus though, but it's probably less plus than before. Gran's far standing light though has a slower startup. This is pretty big because Gran's far light is one of the fastest far lights in the game. Now it's probably around 6 frames. This means that Gran can now fall for the frame traps such as Swords' close medium frame trap. Gran's close medium went from plus to 0 on block. They expanded the front hurt box for Catalina when she walks back. This makes her easier to get hit. They reduced the recovery of close standing L. It's still plus, but probably less plus than before. Close standing M saw a huge nerf as it's now minus on block rather than 0 like Gran's. Also, the recognition range has been reduced. What that means is it'll be harder for Catalina to get close medium unless she's right up close. Catalina's far standing heavy probably saw the biggest nerf in the game. They reduced the active frames and increased the recovery, making it easily whiff punishable. The cancel window is also reduced. What that means is it's harder for her to hit confirm from her far heavy. Her enchanted lands also saw a damage nerf from 1600 to 1400. For Shaolada, they buffed her medium shining onslaught, but the clash level is now the same as a heavy button. For the EX version, they nerfed the damage from 1400 to 1200 and decreased the clash level, so it loses to moves like heavy buttons. The downward slash of Holy Ladder is now the same clash level as a close standing light. This will make it easier to anti-air rather than clashing instead. For Lancelot, they increased the hurt box when he walks back. Close standing medium is now reduced to 0 on block. Lancelot's mid-air unique attack now has recovery, so it's now possible to punish him if you react fast enough. The EX projectile now has less active frames. That also means the range is no longer full screen. Before, Lancelot's projectile was able to pass through other projectiles, but now they fixed it. They increased the startup time for his Blade Impulse EX version. It'll be harder to use this attack as a whiff punish. Before, Lancelot's teleport into attack was actually minus on hit for the light and medium versions, so they've changed it now to be both plus on hit. Latifa's hurt box was expanded overall. This is to match her actual character modeling. They increased the recovery for both close standing light and far standing light. The damage from EX Lariat has been reduced from 1500 to 1300, while the dash version went from 1600 to 1400. Natera's far standing light now has a huge hurt box on her feet area, which makes it very easy to whiff punish, or hit her in general when she uses this button. Close standing medium is now 0 on block. When the high projectile makes contact with the opponent, Natera can instantly go for their low projectile, and vice versa. Fairy's far standing light now has the hurt box more downwards. This makes it easier to whiff punish her with low attacks. The recovery for far standing medium is increased, making it easier to whiff punish. Far standing heavy had their clash level decreased, which makes it now the same level as a medium attack, and now loses to attacks like far heavy. Her sweep also saw a reduction in clash level, which means it's now easier to beat her when you clash with a sweep or even a crouching medium attack. The startup for her EXDP has increased. What this means is now easier to block in time if you go for a meaty. They decreased the attack level for Vasuraga's close standing light. However, his clash level remains intact. They increased the recovery time for close standing medium. but when he does the attack, he moves slightly forward, alleviating any whiffs that he used to do when he was barely out of range. They reduced the knockback for jumping medium and jumping heavy. This is probably to make it easier to get jump-in combos. Narmaya's sword mode standing light now has less recovery. It used to be minus, but now it's 0 up close and plus from far. Also, they increased the front hitbox. They also reduced the recovery for sword mode far standing medium. This is probably to make it a little bit harder to whiff punish. They reduced the hurtbox on startup for the projectile. Both versions for Narmaya's DP now move slightly forward, probably to avoid whiffs. They reduced the hurtbox during the active frames for her crescent move. They also reduced the recovery from landing. For swords, they improved the damage of his impact knuckles. Other than bug fixes, that's about it. Vegeta, they increased the recovery for close standing light. It's still plus on block though, so probably just less plus than before.